Does online dating feel overwhelming and you just want to find somebody already? Well, this video is going to go over my 6 best tips for making online dating a little bit easier. And whether you're dating on Bumble or Hinge or Tinder, Match.com or JDate or any of them, these tips will help. So this video is going to be a quicker set of tips to help you get started and apply them right away. But if you see any links pop up here, that means I've made a more in-depth video about whatever subject we're talking about. So with that, let's get into tip number 1, which is your mindset going into online dating. Which you're probably like, Tommy, my mindset is to find a person. I already know that. But what I'm actually talking about is your mindset related to setting up your online profile. You're looking at your online profile like it's a resume. So start thinking about you're presenting yourself in the best way possible because you want to get that job, or you want to get that date, or you want to get that partner. And the next component of that mindset is it's a resume, but it's also, remember, like attracts like. So you want to be able to convey who you are and what your life is about. The other thing is think about other person's shoes. When they're looking at you, they want to know what you have to offer. It might seem superficial, but people really are looking at what are your hobbies? What are your life like? What values are they showing in their photos and their bio? What's their job? What do their friends look like? What's the aesthetic of their lifestyle? People are consciously and subconsciously looking at all these things. If you're starting to realize, wow, my life doesn't look that good, I don't have that much to offer, then maybe working on some self-development, because if you can feel like you have something to offer, you're going to be that much more attractive to the person that's looking at your profile. So get your mindset right when you're setting up your profile. The main things are be clear about who you are and what your life is like. Be clear about what you're looking for. And remember that like attracts like. And if you can see the value in this, hit the like button to let me know this makes sense. And that brings us to tip number 2, which is your profile pictures. Again, we're thinking this is the first impression. Most dating apps are pictures first. That's what our first impression is. How attracted are we to a person? So some quick tips about better profile pictures. You want a variety of pictures. So don't just take the same picture over and over and over. It might be a different picture, but it's the same room, the same angle, the same outfit. I don't know how many profiles I've seen where they're like a one-trick pony, where they just post the same type of selfie over and over. And what was the point of posting those pictures? Okay, so what to take? 1, you want a good, clear picture of yourself. Take a little bit of time. And if you're like, Tommy, I don't have a picture like that, ask a friend to take a picture of you. Get dressed up a little bit. You don't want to look like not in your pajamas, not in your workout clothes. Try to put together a nice outfit. If you need help, ask somebody. Another thing is avoid selfies. You can put maybe 1 or 2 selfies, but they would have to be really tasteful. And statistically, photos taken by other people do better and are more attractive, and even better would be a candid photo. So it's like a photo where you're just doing something you weren't thinking about being photographed. So the complexity of a nice clear picture of yourself in a nice outfit. The next thing is a group photo showing that you do have friends. Warning to this, you don't want too many group photos. You don't want them to look at the profile and wonder which one are you. So 1 or 2 group photos to show that you do have some friends. And if you don't have friends, consider getting some friends. Next, you don't want too many of the opposite sex. So if you're trying to attract a woman, you don't want pictures with you and a bunch of women. It's just not presentable and not attractive. People see competition. When you're choosing your photos, choose pictures that show what your life is like, show what your hobbies are. If you're comfortable, you can show you're doing something with your family, show something doing with your friends. But if you like cars, if you like football games, if you like video gaming, if you like hiking, convey what your hobbies are through pictures. It's just, you're telling a story of what your life is like. This is who I am. These are the friends I have. These are what I like to do for fun. Maybe even this is what I do for a job. Tell the story of your life through photos. If you're having trouble with your pictures, there's a bunch of websites where you can post your pictures and people will rate them and tell you the characteristics they have so that you can pick the best ones. And that brings us to tip number 3, write a better bio. And this is another place you're telling the story of your life. There's different strategies to bios. whether it's funny or quirky or interesting, controversial, or just conveying a clear message. My philosophy is to convey clearly what you're looking for and what you have to offer. But it's not in an ego superficial way, it's the important things. And there's a couple aspects to this that I think are important. Don't be negative. Some people will put a list of all the things that they don't want. Don't do that. Why are you going to start your first step with negativity? Nobody wants that. As we're writing this, we also want to set up potential conversation. So when people are thinking about starting a conversation, this is what they have to go off of. If you say you hate grapes or you love grapes, can they ask you what's your favorite type of grapes or why do you like grapes so much? Or if you say that one of your hobbies is hiking, they can ask what are some of the hikes that you've done in the area? And you're giving people some substance to go off of. How to start a little bit deeper. Talk about things that you like, because these are the types of conversations that you want to have. This is setting up the potential conversations so you can get past that how's your day going and start having a little bit deeper conversation. And again, remember, like attracts like. This is like a resume. So what do you need to convey? And also you can clearly state what you're looking for. It promotes confidence, it promotes trust, and it'll save you time because you'll filter out the people that aren't looking for the same thing. Tip number 4 is don't set your filters too rigidly. So I just mentioned that you want to be clear to attract the right type of person, but you also don't want to be too restrictive if you're going to use some filters. Like there's definitely basic things like, are you attracted to men or women? What area are they in? Some people are comfortable driving farther away. Some people are driving close. Those are important ones. But other things about getting too specific about hobbies or zodiac signs or all the different things that you can filter on. But we want a little bit of variety in our match, which this is a bigger subject, but it creates interest and it creates a healthier dynamic. So pick a couple important ones, but don't be too rigid. And also give people a chance. I mean, you might match with someone that you least expected. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And that brings us to tip number 5. It's a numbers game, but you also don't want to waste your time and you don't want to get to the point of dating fatigue. So I don't mean you just go on all the dates that you can and you're just throwing yourself out there. What I mean is there's a certain amount of statistics in this. To find the person that you like, you have to filter through all the people that weren't quite it. And you also need to experience these people so that you know what type of person you actually want to be with. So the numbers of this game go vaguely like this. First, we're creating the best profile that we can so that we can get the most attention in the beginning. So then we have the best pool of people of like attracts like. So then there's a whole percentage of people that we won't pick from that group. So we have to eliminate those. And then of those ones, there's a whole group of people that are dating that aren't necessarily ready. These are the ones that match and you message them and they just didn't have the time, because it's not always about you, but sometimes, as you know, life happens and not everybody's focused on dating. So that's a whole nother group of people that just aren't even responding and they're just compulsively matching. So we want to get them out of there. The next is there's a whole slew of people that will talk for a little while, but then it fizzles out and you don't meet them. And then there's a next group where you actually get to the point and ask them to go on the date. Maybe the date happened, maybe the date doesn't, but then you finally go on the date, and then there's another subset is how did the date go? And so the more opportunity that you have in this, the more likely you're gonna get to that type of person that is most aligned with you, and you can actually have a good time. So it might seem overwhelming, but all these things that we talked about will help each one of those processes. And this brings us back to being clear about what you want, because we want to avoid the dating fatigue. Because if you're going on so many dates and there's not people that you like, or you're not getting the dates, you can save yourself so much time if you were clear about what you wanted in the beginning. And then you never wasted your time going on a date with someone that wasn't in alignment. And that takes us to tip number 6, which is your opening line. Now, they already decided that they like you enough to match with you, so you already got an in. Then we're very tempted to just say, "What's up?" or "How are you? How was your weekend?" How many other people are doing that? And really the question is do you want to go about this with intention, or are you not really ready to be dating? Because chances are, if you're just like, I don't have the energy to come up with a unique thing to say, you're probably not fully ready to be invested in dating. But if you are ready, then when you start with that opening line, start with intention. Think about, like, if this was the person of your dreams or whatever you're looking for, what would you say to them? Would you ask them about one of their pictures? Would you ask them about their hobbies? If you wanted, you could look at a bunch of videos or blog posts online about great opening lines, or you could look at their profile and try to ask a really deep question or try to learn something more about them. People like talking about themselves. Another strategy is to make a statement. If you saw them at a football game, you could be like, "The Seahawks are the best," or some statement of opinion to get a conversation going. And people love opinions and sharing their opinion. But whatever you say, you want it to promote intrigue, you want it to promote curiosity, you want it to lead to something. And additionally, when you're responding to a conversation, follow up with another question. It's a give and take. There's so many conversations I've had that I just quit because I got through a dozen correspondences with them and they didn't ask one single question about me. With that, I'm just carrying the whole conversation. So you want to be asking questions and offering opinions, because that's what a good conversation is like. It's a give and take. And the last bonus tip of this video is put into the time. You're already watching this video, which is a really great start. Put in the time for your profile pictures, put in the time for your bio, put in your time for your responses, and it's really gonna pay off of getting you to the people that you're going to be most attracted to. And there is your ideal person out there for you. If you can project it, it will be attracted to you. If you want to continue this conversation and keep learning more, hit the subscribe button and I'll be releasing more aspects of dating. Until then, I hope these tips help and I'll see you in the next video.